Today I would show off a quick video. I'm in the middle of editing a longer video about the electronic lead screw, so I thought I would take a few minutes and show how I work with sheet goods, plywood. I've got a couple tools and a setup that I really like. Make this a quick little video just to kind of show you. I've got a small project I'm working on today. I'm actually making a set of cornhole boards. It's a beanbag tossing game. A friend of ours requested that I make a couple of them pretty quick projects, so I'm out here cutting some sheet goods down. To start with the plywood itself, I went to Home Depot and just picked up some plywood. Could have gotten the 4x8 sheets and saved a few bucks, but when I buy the 2x4 ones, it just makes it easier to get in my car to get on the way home. I don't have a truck or anything like that, so there's that. The big tool that we'll be using today, one of my favorite tools, and it is a power tool. I know I've talked a lot about use of hand tools, but the power tool I really like for this is called a tracksaw. So this is basically a circular saw that can plunge, so you can set the depth of cut and plunge into the work. But then the big thing is that it rides on a track. So here's the track, and the saw just sits on there and it rides on the track. Now it does two things. First of all, it makes it really easy to cut straight because of course there's a track holding you in line. But the edge of the track naturally lines up with the cut line, so that allows you to see very easily where you're going to cut. You just put the saw on the line, cut to the line, and you're good to go. Third, because the cut is very well supported, it's got something pressing down from the top, then you get a really clean cut. And then another thing is this particular saw is the Makita track saw. The DeWalt and Festool saws are very similar. When I did the research, they seem all quite similar. And the Makita, for sure, definitely has really good dust collection. I'm not going to use it out here today. I don't have a vacuum out here, and I'm outside, so I'm not as concerned about dust. But when I'm inside, there really is very little dust produced with this. I think this is the best way to work with sheet goods. I vastly prefer this to trying to manipulate a piece of plywood over a table saw. I think you get very, very good results. If you are trying to work down to 1/128th of an inch, it's probably not going to be that, but for most things I'm doing, they don't need anywhere near that precision. So a table saw, certainly can be very useful. I don't actually own one for reasons, but I think for sheet goods, the track saw is just a really great option. Then in terms of the cutting setup, what I have here is just a couple of Sawhorses, and they are notched to accept a 2x6. And then I have some 2x4s sitting across that, and then just a sheet of foam core insulation sitting on top of that I can cut into. I'll set the depth of cut to be slightly thicker than I guess this is 1/2 inch or whatever passes for 1/2 inch these days, 15, 30 seconds or something like that. I'll set it to cut into the material a little bit, and that will support the cut, support the material very well, and the foam doesn't really, obviously have much impact on the blade, so that'll work out well. So all I need to do is just strike a line, and for that I'm going to be using a Drywall Square. It's a pretty convenient way to do it. Go ahead and strike my line on the work and run the track saw across, and I'll have the pieces I need. Alright, just a matter of striking a line on our piece of wood. I'll use my Drywall Square. Be very careful that you mark on the correct side. The markings on this one, if I mark on this side of it, it's going to be off by 2 inches. So draw my line, and then all I need to do is lay the track down on it. I'm just going to run it right up to the edge of the line. Just visually line it up. Set it right on there, and that'll be good enough. This does not have to be super precise in any event. And then I've already set my depth of cut on the saw. There's a depth stop here. I've set it to be slightly thicker than the wood. Just set the saw on the track and turn it on, plunge. Couldn't be easier. Got a nice clean edge on that. Very good. Alright, I got a bunch more of these to do, but I won't bore you. This is Get Smarter and Make Stuff. Please click like and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and catch you next time.